You just slapped a 78-year-old war veteran, you lowlife. The words cut through the silence like a knife. George Red Thompson, his hand trembling slightly around a chipped ceramic mug, stood stunned in the middle of Rusty's Diner in Topeka, Kansas. Moments earlier, he had simply asked if he could sit down and grab his lunch, his knees too old for standing long. But one biker, sporting a black leather vest with the words Free Riders Motorcycle Club stitched across the back, took it personally. "No line cutting, old man," the biker had growled, and without warning, the slap came. It cracked across Red's weathered face, sending a sharp hush across the room. Coffee spilled across the checkered floor. The diner's clock read 12:02 p.m. Customers froze. Some gasped. Others stood halfway out of their booths, unsure if they were about to witness something much worse. Sally, the longtime waitress, ran toward Red, her hands over her mouth. "He didn't mean anything," she whispered desperately. He was just trying to sit." But the biker scoffed, flicking a cigarette butt at Red's feet. "I don't care if he stormed Normandy. Rules are rules." At that, a young man near the window pulled out his phone, hitting record. "The whole world's gonna see this, man." But Red didn't flinch. He just stood there, face red from both slap and shame, his Purple Heart cap knocked slightly askew. He had seen worse in his life, much worse. His eyes drifted, not to the biker, but to the dusty medals on his coat. For a moment, time slipped backward. November 1944, the frigid forests outside Bastogne. Private George Thompson of the 1st Infantry Division had just pulled his friend Corporal Willis out of a burning Sherman tank, bullets ripping through the trees. He had been 19, soaked in blood, carrying the wounded while tanks rolled over frozen mud. That was the day he earned his Purple Heart. That was the day he learned the real meaning of courage. And now, 80 years later, he had been slapped like a misbehaving child for asking to sit in a diner line. Back in present-day Kansas, another slap seemed imminent. The biker raised his hand again. "Next one's free, Gramps." But just then, the door slammed open with force. A man in full U.S. Army uniform marched in, boots thudding against the tile. His nameplate read Thompson. He was Lieutenant Colonel Jason Thompson, Red's only son. He was 45 years old, a graduate of Ranger School, with 2 tours in Afghanistan and a service ribbon lineup that mirrored his father's. Behind him were 3 plainclothes men, military posture unmistakable. Jason's eyes locked on the biker. "Step away from my father," he said, voice low but commanding. The biker faltered, suddenly aware of how many eyes were watching. "You assaulted a 78-year-old decorated combat veteran," Jason continued, "which under Kansas Statute 21-5412 is simple assault. But since he is over the age of 65, it carries aggravated penalties. And under United States Code Title 18, Section 249B, assault on a veteran falls under hate crime eligibility. That means federal charges. That means prison." Jason placed his own military dog tags on the counter with a clink. "I'm filing charges on his behalf." The biker, who seconds earlier had been puffed up with ego, now shrank back like a cornered dog. "I didn't know," he muttered. "I didn't know he was military." Jason stepped closer. "You did not have to know. You just had to respect him. This man earned the right to cut every damn line in this country." The sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called the police. The biker started backing away, but Jason raised a hand. "Don't move. Another step, and I detain you until the officers arrive." The biker collapsed into a booth, silent now. Officers entered moments later and took him into custody. The entire diner watched in stunned silence. Jason knelt beside his father, gently fixing his cap. "Dad, I got you." Red, eyes misty, managed a whisper. "I'm proud of you, son." Jason looked around the diner. "This isn't just about my father. This is about all veterans. You disrespect one, you disrespect every man and woman who wore the uniform." He stood tall. "Not in my country." As the officers led the biker out in handcuffs, someone began clapping, then another. Soon the whole diner erupted in applause. Red bowed his head. He had faced fire in France, cold in the Ardennes, and now, in a small Kansas diner, he had received the respect he had always deserved. Before we end this story, let us know in the comment. Where are you watching from? If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.